Hi guys, welcome back to the Funky Evolution Party. I'm Alice Green. I have a multiple amount of topics that I would like to talk to you about because I get online and I'm just like, how can we be so ignorant and so like meh in 2023, talk about being civil versus being barbaric, i.e., let's take things to a courtroom versus let's go and just kill everybody, get angry, and start shooting people in the street. What precedent are we setting for the future? Because if we're allowing this to happen now, this is what things will be like in the future. If we don't stop and say, this is not okay, then we are going to see more of these, migrants coming, running into people's houses. So, okay, it's mine now, a lawless society, which is what our ancestors fought so hard to protect. Now, before I go in, I'm going to talk to you guys today about education. I'll put my smart glasses on, and looking really at the people that walked before us, the people that are walking with us today, and the future that will be walking after us. What sort of world are we creating for them? What sort of education are we providing them with? Because all I see is ignorance, 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 ignorance. Let me just jump on this bandwagon of more ignorance, or, being too scared to say what you think. But guess what? When you say fuck you the first time, it's like saying I love you. It gets easier and easier and easier to say. So, oh, I can't tell them that I love them. Well, guess what? You can tell them to go fuck themselves, because that is where we need to start really pushing things out. This I'm so special, special bloody needs, and, or, special as in the creeps. You don't belong on the land. You don't own the land. You go in after Hamas, and then all of a sudden it's all about Iran, and it's all settlers are going into the West Bank while you're blowing up another city. I want to put this into perspective for you, and I'm going to base it on London because it's where I am. Imagine there's 36 boroughs. Hamas is in charge of Tower Hamlets. They decide that, that's a danger. So we're going to go into Tower Hamlets and just flatten it because it's England owns the country. Tower Hamlets, like Gaza, is just a little tiny piece of an elected mayor, not the entire country. So you cannot mass punish an entire country, aka. So if I'm in Tower Hamlets, oh, that's all right. While we're focusing on them, why don't Hackney go over into Islington and just start kicking them out of their houses? Really? Come on, guys. Let's get a check on this. The reason education is so important is because we understand the mistakes of the past were mistakes. Killing people. Do we know that it's not just that life that you take away? It has effects on the entire family, on the entire community, on people's mental health. Are you looking beyond your own noses? Can you see beyond the glossy little leaflet that tells you you have a birthright? Quantitative and qualitative data, where is that? There is none. You're telling me this on a 3,000-year-old map? Come on. When they wanted to do their very first day of ground invasions, it flooded. There was cyclones and all sorts, with God saying stop. They're going and they're destroying the churches. This is the birthplace and the resting place of Jesus Christ. You built your entire civilizations around the church. The church owns all the land. The church has controlled people for centuries, and now all of a sudden 2023, oh, it's fine. Go for it. Knock it all down. Build a resort. Go massacre all these people on Holy Land. You're in the right. You have the right to defend yourself. Against what? What are we defending against? Because all I have seen, and I'm not just basing this on Palestine, I base it on all the neighbors, being Syria getting bombed all the time, Lebanon being bombed all the time. Oh, Hezbollah's fighting back. Yeah, they're defending themselves. They're not going in and massacring all the civilians. They are just sending them over to IDF, who, by the way, have no intelligence. Now, let me go back to education, because this is the key for people to disarm and get this environment, this planet back to where it needs to be. Oh, carbon emissions. Oh, everyone has to switch boilers. Oh, everyone has to. No, we don't. You need to disarm the world. You need to get everybody to decide that all the money that they're spending in war is then reinvested back into educational institutions, because every single educational institution in Gaza has been blown up. Why is that? Can you explain that to me? Is it because Israel lacks education and so therefore they feel inferior and decide, okay, let's just make everybody in the world stupid like us? Special. No, we are not. And it's very insulting to sit. These people get paid a lot of money to be diplomats, and you can't even get the story straight. You know, all we hear about is October 7th. What's happened after that? Zero. No civilians have been hurt since then. But 20,000 Palestinians have in a mass punishment. We complained about the babies who died in the incubators, and then a week later, a whole heap of other babies are left there to rot. You care so much. Why didn't you take them to a hospital in Israel when you knew that they were there? You're not humanitarians. You just want to destroy, and I'm going to just make it very clear. They're narcissists. And it's this I am special nonsense. My 5-year-old, I'm special. Guess what, darling? You're not special. You're equal to everybody else. There is no special here. You work for what you got. If it doesn't belong to you, you're not entitled to it. You can't just, oh, I like that house over there. I want that house. God told me that I would be rich in whatever and that I'm entitled to that. You're entitled to that, actually. When the people that create you, i.e. the UN, and you talk about, the Palestinians, no, they never want to do. It's like you insisting that you're just going to come and live in my house. Really? No, you're not going to come and live in my house. I'm sorry, I don't want you in my house. And then you break down my door and you come and live in my house. And then eventually you start throwing all my stuff out of the house until you say that this is your house. That's not how this works. Where is the respect? Where is the integrity? There is no integrity. I watch all these leaders and the ones that won't even call a ceasefire. What is wrong? Oh, we have to get Hamas. Again, you're going to go into Tower Hamlets and kill everyone in Tower Hamlets because you want to get to 3 or 4 guys that were elected? Come on, let's be realistic. Let's look at facts, because the education system about annihilating children, about killing, and then you've got all the gender dysphoria stuff that gets thrown in there. Why aren't we teaching kids CPR and how to save lives? Want to talk to them about health? Why don't we talk to them about how they can actually be healthy by not poisoning the planet, by not, I'm a naturalist, so this is Hans Schwab's, whatever his name is, Professor Pinky in the Brain, whose daughter is a naturalist, who insists on poisoning everything that is natural, and then again, contaminating your bodies. She's part of this, she is kind of the head of the I Mafia, the Alphabet Mafia, and it's like, you're supposed to be a naturalist. You learned about the natural world and all you want to do is poison it? When is this shit going to stop? Because, I've got 2 5-year-olds and all I can see is an attack on kids, on children, on women, on the defenseless. You think that makes you strong? Oh, ha, ha, I put my flag here and my flag there. It's like, okay, let's take this on a massive professional level. I'm a professional football player. If I don't follow the rules of the football, I get a red card or I get kicked off and we just don't get to play. That's how the United Nations works. So if Israel decides that it doesn't want to play by the rules, then it gets kicked off the team. That's the game, right? So I need everybody to look at the rules, because it's not genocide. I'm not a lawyer. Any normal person with a moral backbone can tell you that this is not acceptable. And 2023, talk to me about civil and barbaric and good versus evil. Listen, every rabbi, every priest, every Imran, they wouldn't even, I'm the devil to them, right? But I feel like I've got more of a moral code and backbone than, oh, I can't even remember the rabbi, I'll post his name, whose daughter owns kosher sex toys, who's talking about kicking all the black people out and that they're monkeys. They're not welcome in Israel. No one's welcome in Israel. Only white supremacists are welcome in Israel. If you have a passport from another country, you're welcome in Israel. If you're Palestinian, you're not welcome. What is that? Democracy? No. It's a totalitarian dictatorship and it needs to stop now. This is a call out to the UN Secretary, to Security and Secretary and everybody, just a call out to everybody. Dismantle them, evict them. They don't own the land. They've got no blood ties to the land. Lease expired. Time to go. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys there because I'm going to go and educate myself, and being that on Google and things like, oh, anti-Semitic. I'm going to leave you on this one before I actually go. Calling anti-Semitism. Anti-Semitism is people that are like Christian, Jews and Muslims. Jerusalem belongs to Christians, Jews and Muslims. According to Israelis, who are not Jewish, by the way, they believe that anti-Semitism only belongs to Zionists. They believe that Jerusalem only belongs to Zionists. So the other three that are actually entitled to, you know, these holy places and all of that, they're not even considered. So, you know, have a serious think about what I've told you guys today. I need you to get this message out there because our voices are being silenced. For what? For money? Where is money going to get you? Nowhere. Money doesn't buy you shit if you can't even say what you want to say. And this is the trick: is it's time to get smart. It's time to look at the facts. It's time to cut out the crap and really look at how we're going to create peace and a safe environment. Because, yeah, sorry, going to keep rambling. This whole environmental impacts, yeah, you know, let's just keep blowing things up. No, let's stop blowing things up. Let's start educating the world and get ourselves back onto track, because it's just, it's not sustainable. I'm a business management consultant, change management, problem solver, all of that. And I can see this is just going to keep failing until we scrap the project and start again. So please like, share, get the message out there.